So Chris Labonte, we're going to go back to the great white north, the cold, deep north where there's snow and things like that. There's Chris. How are you
Hi,
doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing? Thanks for
I'm,
having me, Jeff.
I'm doing pretty good. So is it snowy up there?
Uh, there is residual snow. It's not, I don't think it's snowing at the moment, but we're getting some dumps.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember a few years ago, I was flying from Orange County to Toronto. They had to de-ice the plane in Orange County
Yeah.
before we could take off. And then when I landed in Toronto, it was actually warmer than it was in Orange County. That was
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because I think you guys sometimes get worse weather than we do in Toronto.
yeah. I think well, Southern California, you'll get pretty good weather, but yeah, every once in a while it's just like these weird things that happen. But where I am now, yes, we get a lot more worse weather, especially
Yeah,
just.
I heard Minneapolis, so I was like, oh, right, that's.
Oh yeah, no. I was in Southern California.
Oh, okay,
So
gotcha.
yeah. So we took off from OC, and again they had to de-ice the plane. I'm like, wait, what? And it was funny. They said we don't have the right equipment, so we actually have to move into the sun to let the sun de-ice the plane. At that point, I'm like, check please, get me out of here.
Nature's de-icer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Canadian, so I have no idea how many orange counties you guys got. I mean, you got one in the west, you got one in the east. For all I know, every state's got an orange county. So
yeah, we have one in California, one in New York, and one in Florida.
There's one in Florida too. That makes sense. The New York one, I guess I don't know. It can't have anything to do with oranges.
Yeah. We're in Orange County, New York.
Yeah.
You don't say.
But it can't have anything to do with oranges.
Maybe they buy them at the grocery store. They buy a lot of them at the grocery store. I don't know.
Or it's an Irish thing.
All right, so let's talk about, yeah, it could be. So let's talk about what you do.
Yeah, I do all kinds of stuff. I mean, primarily an artist. I'm also a musician. I think you discovered me on Instagram. I'm fairly new to Instagram. I guess you can tell by looking at me that I'm not new, but I'm new to Instagram. I've been working in the animation industry for television and movies since the mid 80s. So I've been doing it for a long time. And presently my day job is doing storyboards for television cartoons. And in my spare time, I do a lot of art for Instagram. And I finally got on Instagram. I've developed a following. I've set up a couple of stores, and people are starting to find me that way.
Yeah, so let's talk about that because you do have some pretty cool art. You are also of the Krampus mindset, I see.
Yeah, I try to do a Krampus every once in a while. A lot of my work in the last year has been of the fairly dark nature. And Krampus sort of fits right into that. So I think one of the images that you posted on your post was my Krampus on a snowmobile that I did.
Yeah, that one is pretty cool. Okay, before we go much further, I gotta ask: is the creepy clown behind you? Is that one of your works of art? Or
no, that is like, which hand am I pointing?
Yeah, there you go.
There. That was created by a ceramic artist friend of mine back in the 90s in homage and response to the film Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I don't know if you're aware of that one.
Okay, I missed that one. But I am going to have nightmares now with that guy staring at you.
Yeah, well, that's why my wife makes me keep it in my studio now, because I used to have it in the house, but she kept sort of opening the fridge and the light would shine on the clown, and it was just like, no, put that thing in your office, and that's it.
Dude, you shouldn't put the clown in the refrigerator just to scare you off. Come on.
Hey, a joke's a joke.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so let's go back to your art. Let's talk about, you have some, can you show us some stuff that you got? Show the crew what you got?
Yeah, how do I display screen here or something?
Oh, yep, here, let me do this. And
you're gonna find me on,
there you go.
I should have had that set up. Oh, there's me. Okay, geez, you're setting me up here. Now I just got to choose the right screen.
Yeah, yes, that
I
is
got a
the
lot of
challenge.
screens.
That is the challenge.
I don't know. Can you see that?
I can. I can.
Okay. So I think the one that you had posted was this gruesome Krampus I did. The Krampus sort of charging possibly out of hell on a snowmobile.
I like that thought. And by the way, it was Sam who would have done that. And I've got I think I need we need to get health insurance for Sam, because I think she may need to talk to somebody, because she's had so many scary people on lately.
Yeah.
With images like this. I think there might be something we have to talk to her about.
Oh yeah. Well, it gets worse too. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's the one I did this year. This is sort of skull Krampus.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So they're getting.
So I asked all our scary artists. I know you have a different term for yourself, but that's kind of what I call you guys. Is this what lives inside your head?
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically. I mean, and this is how you exercise it.
I was gonna say, and how do you sleep at night with this?
Like a baby.
Because you let it out through your hands onto the page. So yeah.
I haven't had a nightmare since I learned to draw.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, you can see there's a bunch of stuff here. I was trying to find the stuff that Sam. Oh, here's this one's pretty. You might like that one.
Oh man. So now what took you down this dark path?
Well, I've always been sort of a horror fanatic and a creature fanatic ever since I was a kid. And I read a lot of creepy magazines when I was a kid. And then I've always kept that with me. I've always been also heavily involved in the punk rock and heavy metal community. So there's a lot of this kind of imagery that goes with that. So it's just come naturally, for me to. And also the other thing too, Jeff, is that in my day job, I work on a lot of. Oh, here's a portrait of my wife I did. This is a nice one.
Looks like a little son, but other than that, yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Oh, I did my son too. Where is he? Yeah, there's my son. Speaking of my little son. So, yeah, the other thing too is, I mean, because I've sort of been steeped in all this horrific movies and media and other things. My day job is I work in a lot of children's cartoons. I'm a director. I'm a storyboard artist. So every day I'm going to work and I'm working on some really very gentle and fun and cute stuff. But after a while you get saturated with that kind of stuff. So my response to that is to go home and do this.
Okay, thanks for the clarification, because I was about ready to ask. Wait, children's cartoons?
Oh yeah, no, I'm
scaring the hell out of them. Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, I'm not allowed to. I mean, the scariest project I think that I ever worked on was BeetleJuice back in the '90s, the cartoon. So
wow.
That was something. I was the production designer on that. Oh, here's one that Sam found. So this might have a slight Tiki edge to it somehow. I'm not sure. You guys,
anything with skulls has got Tiki edge to it. Believe me.
So almost everything I do, I guess, could be brought into the Tiki realm. I did a lot of. I did a whole alphabet too, and with these, I call this one. This is the Y from the cursed alphabet. Wow. I'm going to be releasing a full-size poster with the alphabet on it pretty soon too. There's the X. I mean, I won't go through the whole alphabet, but this is the one. This is the one.
Two-year calendar right there.
What's that?
I said that would give you a 2-year calendar just with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but people have said, "Hey, you should do a calendar." I said, "Well, I'll start off with the poster and see how it goes." I think this is the one that Sam found, and that was on your page too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Darth Vader is suddenly not as scary.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is there's also a big nerd side to me, and I did this one on the May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th. Yep. Okay. Nice.
Of course, I identify primarily with the villain.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't do Darth without his helmet.
Yeah, maybe next year, or maybe if I just take the layer off of this, you'll see that underneath it's actually
Oh, yeah,
That'd
nice.
be a good idea, actually. Yeah, that would save me some artwork because I wouldn't have to redraw the helmet and the armor.
Yeah,
Just do
there
the
you
face.
go.
Oh man, yeah, that's a
So,
good
so now what is your medium? Are you using an iPad and the ever popular Procreate?
100%. You nailed it. For
Okay.
most of this stuff, yeah, I'm digital. I have been in the past, obviously, been very paper oriented, but I really embraced digital when it became a possibility. But yeah, I do post the odd thing too. There's some BeetleJuice production artwork that I did back in the 90s. And sometimes on a throwback Thursday, I'll put this stuff up there. So I can obviously still work in pencil, but I find the options for digital to be pretty enticing. So I do that.
Very nice. And we do have people in the crowd who are familiar with that and watched your show.
Yeah, a lot of people really dig that show. Even in studios, when I go, if I'm working freelance or whatever, and I go to a studio and people go, "Aren't you the production designer on BeetleJuice?" And I go, "Yeah, I did that 115 episodes." And they're like, "Oh, I love that show. I used to trace it off the television." It was always kind of fun.
Trace it off the television. Holy crap.
Yeah, I talked to a couple of layout artists when they were just like pre-teen or whatever. They would freeze frame a VHS version of the show, and then they would put a piece of paper over the screen, and then they would trace off the characters so they could learn how to draw them.
Man,
Yeah,
that's impressive.
I found that pretty heartwarming, actually. A young fella that told me that. I actually went home and I got him an animation cell and signed it, and I gave it to him. I don't know if you guys know what
Oh,
animation
nice.
cells are, but
Oh, yes. Anybody that's gone to Disneyland or Disney
yeah.
World knows what animation cells are, because that's what they try and sell you there.
I got a couple. Yeah, I know, right? I won't try to sell you this, but here's I don't know if you guys can see this. Here's a cell, a couple of cell levels from the actual opening of the show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I managed to get a hold of this somehow.
Oh, that is very nice.
Yeah, and then you can see the, well, I don't know if I can peel this one off. Yeah, this one's stuck pretty bad. That's going to take some TLC. I won't peel it off the paper, but the paper layout is in behind it. Well, there's a rough layout animation drawing, so you can see where the tracing comes from. So yeah, that's how long I've been doing it. I used to work on paper, and now I've gone digital.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing is I tell all the artists that do work on the iPad and Procreate. To me, it was like I saw it, it's like, oh, that's a great tool. The problem is you have to have the talent. So you
Yeah,
have that talent, obviously. The
yeah,
software can't make up that talent. Lack of
it really
talent.
does. It really does help. I mean, I guess some people that get it and think they're automatically going to be able to make great stuff are a little disappointed, but it's a great tool.
Oh, and it looks like I guess somebody's saying that they're just seeing the shares. We'll have to share those
Oh, that makes sense.
those cells when. Well, it's weird because I do have you up on the screen, and I actually made you the same size as what was being shared. But
Oh yeah, because I saw it up on my screen too. But yeah, what we can do, if people want to see those, I'll hold it up again when it's more what do you call it? Cohesive.
yes, or conducive to the
Conducive. Yeah. Yeah.
right. So now so talk to us a little bit about how people are able to purchase. Do you do commission work? I mean, talk a little bit about some of that.
I do take the occasional commission. Primarily, I've been taking. I've got a bunch of them on, sort of lined up right now. So it's anybody that wanted to hire me for commission have to wait a little while. But I primarily take commissions from bands and brands and apparel. Quite a few apparel companies that have reached out to me recently too. I guess I finally ended up on the Instagram Explore page, so my numbers went up all of a sudden, and I started getting pokes from apparel companies. So I got a couple of those things going. I'm obviously a very big music lover, so if it's the right kind of band and they approach me, or the right kind of brand and they approach me, I'm happy to give them a quote. As far as if anybody needs to buy prints or apparel that I've designed, the links are all in my bio on Instagram. I got an Etsy store where I'm just selling prints right now, like fine art giclée prints in various sizes of most of the stuff that's on the site here within the last 6 months is up there too. So
very nice. Yeah, so we have Sam will have yours. If it's not in there yet, we will have your stuff, your links to your sites in the chat.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. And what's nice is there's a definite connection. You know, on this show, we always talk about that whole thing of, is this Tiki or is it not? Because there are people that ask that question.
Yeah.
And on our show, everybody is pretty much of the same mindset. You know what? If that's what you're into and that's your Tiki thing, then yeah, it's Tiki for you. You know, Tiki's in the eye of the beholder. And these are definitely very much, I see them fitting in a lot of different Tiki bars. Like I said, especially the skulls.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too, and that's the other provision I make. If anybody comes at me for provision, for a commission, I say it's got to have a skull in it. I don't get to draw skulls in my day job, so if you're coming at me, you better want me to draw a skull.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean,
yeah.
it would be like, you know, walking into a Tiki bar and ordering a Cosmo. You just don't do that. Why would you come to you and ask you to, oh, I want a Bambi, please?
I'm gonna use that quote next time somebody asks me to do a portrait of them. I'll go, it's like walking into a Tiki bar and ordering a Cosmo.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go with what's there. Oh man, I love
I'll credit you with that one for sure.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate that.
They can come at you.
I love the skull, and I love the is that a deer skeleton?
Oh, this is a Wendigo from native North American folklore. Got into a Wendigo kick, and people were responding to it quite handily too. So this has actually been one of my most popular prints on the Etsy store lately. It's taken off. It might be the mushrooms. I don't know.
Oh, that people see the mushrooms in the painting. Oh, I thought maybe you're selling mushrooms with the painting.
Hey man, I said I don't know. Who knows?
And so the Wendigo, I've not heard of that. So where did you say that was from?
It's actually it's evident in a lot of native North American folklore. I'm not overly qualified to go into all the details about it, but it's essentially, it's a spirit that it's capable of shape-shifting. They say that it was somebody in their life who was essentially a bad person, kind of a vampiric kind of person, someone that would suck energy from you, and then they turn into this forest spirit. And it's usually in its true form, it's usually something like this, in this image here. But it can look like a loved one. It can look like a friendly dog. It can look like a lot of things. But the thing is, you don't want to get too close to it because it'll suck all your energy out of you. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I need to go digging into some more. This may have a place in my home Tiki bar when I get it built. By the way, I like that.
Hey, hit me up. I'll give you a nice discount.
I appreciate that. Yeah, this is some really cool stuff you have, man. Again, I'm a little worried about you, but I'm glad you have a release to get it out of the head.
As long as I get to do this, you have nothing to worry about. It's when these stop getting posted, that's when things go dark, that's when you got to worry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit, he hasn't posted in a while.
I haven't seen him post.
Somebody's dying tonight. I know it. All right, well, thank you very much for sharing this. Now, let me, so if you stop sharing, then let's go ahead and see if we can bring those those cells back up.
Yeah, let me see here. Just get it in the right order here. So this, if anybody's familiar with the opening for the show, they might recognize that this is the Dietzes on the couch as part of the opening. There's the cell level. You can see that they're painted roughly on the rear, but they appear to be crisp on the front. That's how cells work. And the drawing for that was like that. And then there was another layer that creeps up behind them of BeetleJuice as a bevy of snakes here. And I can't show you the drawing because unfortunately it's stuck to the back of this one, and I better not peel it off at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I got lucky enough because I obviously I worked on the show, and I laid out and designed all the backgrounds for it, and many of the characters. I designed the Poopsie the dog and the monster from across the street. So this is actually one of my cleanup drawings for that. And then the cell paint department took that and they turned it into a color cell.
That is amazing. So basically the process then is you do the drawing and then somebody else does the coloring in and putting it onto a cell?
Yeah, I wouldn't be involved in painting the cells because, you know, there's obviously thousands and thousands of them. Minimum 12 every second that you're looking at. So
yeah, so you draw fast then is what you're saying.
Well, not as fast as your producers would like ever, but
yeah.
But a lot of times you'll start off with rougher drawings, right? You know, we'll ideate on drawings in blue back in the day, in blue pencil, because then you can clean up over the blue. The blue essentially disappears on camera, and the black line that you put on top of it. Oh, here's a pirate one. This might be a little more Tiki.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can see the director gave me a little revision there. I guess I got the hook wrong. So
you got the hook.
Yeah. As a gorilla I did for an episode. What's he called? Gorilla of the Rue Morgue. Yeah. And these revisions are actually mine. Those aren't from the director. I corrected myself on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can do his own editing. I like it.
Yeah, you get pretty objective after a while. There's BeetleJuice as a hot dog, the big wiener. I mean, I got hundreds of these things. So yeah.
That is way cool, man. Well, thanks for sharing. That was awesome.
My pleasure.
We've got like I said, we've got your info in the chat. So go out and check out the site and be able to see all the cool stuff. Just don't do it too late in the evening because you might have nightmares.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
don't shop after midnight.
Yes. Don't get the wet after midnight. Don't shop after midnight.
No.
That's what it is.
All
right. Well, thank you very much, Chris. Definitely appreciate you coming on and sharing your art, man. That's amazing.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out.
And yeah, that scary clown in the background is gonna be, dude. If I have nightmares tonight, I'm calling your ass.
I'm really sorry. I do occasionally have friends and followers tell me that they've had nightmares based on my stuff. So
I can see that.
The tradition continues. And,
nice.
I'm gonna have to write a disclaimer, I think.
Yeah, I thought Canadians were nice too, man. What the hell?
On the outside.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Chris. Appreciate you coming on, man.
My pleasure.
Tiki Trail Live.